Good morning, this is Gary Bonensteel with Active Identity Technical Support, and this morning we will be considering how to modify the default signature algorithm used by the validation authority to sign its OCSP responses. Now, as you can see here, I have my default signature certificate open, the one that was generated during my initial configuration of my authority here. And if you notice, the default signature algorithm, or the one that's used in this certificate, is SHA-1 with RSA. And so we're going to modify this so that afterwards, this will then be using SHA-256 with RSA instead. And so what we want to do is modify one particular configuration file, the security.bml file, in order to accomplish this. So the first thing we're going to want to do is navigate to the directory that contains the specific BML file that we are looking to modify. And so in my case, my directory that I have this under is CVA authority server webinfconf. Now, it's important to note that this VA directory is one that I created. The default will be Core Street, and certainly you can can be set during the initial install of the validation authority to be whichever directory you would like. But in my case, this is the file path where my BML files reside. And so once here, we're going to want to open up the BML files that are necessary for this modification. In this case, security.bml, security-defaults.bml. So I have these open here. Now, one important thing to note as well is that we do not want to make any direct modifications to the security-defaults.bml. Rather, we're just going to copy a setting from here that will be utilized. So let's go ahead and copy this setting here. It's close to halfway down the BML file's contents, and it's the default signature algorithm value. So let's go ahead and copy that, move over to our security.bml file, and we want to make sure that wherever we paste it falls between the beginning bean class tag and the ending bean tag. And so for simplicity's sake, we're just going to paste it in right here, like so. So now here we go. We have our property pasted into our security.bml file, and now all we need to do is modify the value of this property to reflect the value that we're wishing, in this case SHA-256. So we can simply remove the 1 and put in 256 in its place. So now the value should read as SHA-256 with RSA. On that note, let's go ahead and save the BML file, and we can go ahead and close these out. You can close out the directory as well. And now, before we rerun the configuration and regenerate keys, we will need to restart the Core Street Authority service so that this change takes effect, which I'm doing now. All right, and so now that that's complete, we're going to go ahead and launch the validation authority configuration utility. So here we are. So the first screen we see is the welcome screen. We can go ahead and just click begin. And so that takes us to organization name. So here you want to make sure there's an organization name already entered. If you had already run through a configuration, you'll have one there. If not, you'll want to enter one now. In this case, I'm going to just put test VA. So here we are now at our key store option. So I'm going to choose the regenerate keys, since I want to make sure that the new keys that I'm using contain the new signing algorithm, the SHA-256 algorithm. Then I hit next, and now we're at the modified database option. So I'm just going to put in my information to connect to the database. Here, I make sure that I drop my tables there from my previous install. And one thing to note as well, if you're using the Windows service for the 5.5 authority, restarting the service within this console will not have any effect. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and close out of this utility, and I'm going to go ahead and restart my service once more just to make sure that that's up and running as needed. And now I will launch my validation authority management console. And from here I want to verify that the new signing algorithm is indeed being used. I'm going to go ahead and log in. To check this, we're going to go under Administrator to Key Store, and then we can go ahead and open up the certificate. And if I go to Details, I can now see that my signature algorithm and the signature hash algorithm are now using SHA-256 as desired. And so we can see that by modifying the secure.bml file, just to change this particular value, we now have our certificate